you very much, Dr. Mearson. And I have to say that it's an honour to follow such an interesting speech about bricks. And can I start by congratulating Hayley and all the other petitioners and the Petitions Committee itself, the member for Lichfield, for bringing this important issue into Parliament this afternoon, because it has been a really interesting debate, and I think it's fair to say that the efforts that the petitioners have really made sure that the concerns of workers, the concerns of manufacturers, the concerns of suppliers, local communities that depend on the ceramics industry have truly been heard in Parliament this afternoon. And it's clear that the ceramics sector is facing a number of existential pressures, including, and in particular, their high energy costs, but also burdensome regulation and rising labour costs. And we've heard a range of very valuable contributions from honourable members this afternoon, and it has truly come across how important this industry is, not just in Staffordshire, but in many other parts of the UK. And I was fascinated to hear about Scotland and Cornwall and Stroud and the number of businesses in the ceramics sector. And very welcome to hear from my right honourable friend from Stone, Great Worley and Penkridge, who made a powerful contribution on behalf of a sector where he has first-hand experience working. And so I think what we learnt, Dr. Mearson, is that the ceramics industry is not simply another manufacturing sector. It's a source of highly skilled employment, it's a proud part of our industrial heritage, and it's a significant contributor to our economy. And for generations, British ceramics have been recognised all around the world for their quality, for their craftsmanship, for their innovation. But it's clear that the industry faces particular challenges because it's particularly energy intensive. The high temperatures that kilns need means that the industry cannot simply find at short notice alternative sources of energy or switch on and off when prices fluctuate. They are uniquely exposed to very high energy costs. And so the recent challenges facing well-known firms within the industry should serve as a warning. Now, the supercharger scheme is a sticking plaster. It is a sticking plaster on the damage which has been caused by the Energy Secretary's net zero policies, which have driven up the cost of energy, piling them onto businesses. And because of the costs of net zero, this government has imposed on the businesses themselves. They have been required to come forward with a £120 million subsidy for the industry. I won't give way given how tight we've been for time, but on this side, I hope members will welcome that we have a clear and credible plan to cut energy bills, to reduce regulation and to lower taxes. We have a cheap power plan that will cut household energy bills by £200 a year. It will cut electricity bills by 20% for businesses. That could save ceramics businesses a large amount of money. It saved the average restaurant £5,500, the average pub £1,100. And we would achieve this by axing the carbon tax in full, including the UK emissions trading scheme and carbon price support. We would also scrap the Renewables Obligation Certificate scheme, which would free up money currently being used to fund those payments through general taxation. And we will back the North Sea and get Britain drilling again, unlocking homegrown energy and generating an estimated £2.5 billion in additional tax revenues each year.
On gas, would you allow very briefly?
I'm very tight for time, but if you insist.
I'm just wondering, because we've heard a lot from the Honourable Ladies' parties on their cheap power plan. Can I just check, though, from the ceramics sector perspective, is it her intention that the gas drilled from the North Sea would be specifically ring-fenced and sold at a below-market price to the sectors like the ceramic sector in Stoke-on-Trent and around the country in order to benefit from that? Or would they still be subject to that gas being sold to them via the international market?
would mean that we would have to import less from countries outside the UK because we would have our own supply. Now, I don't want to intrude on the arguments within the governing party, but I just call out the fact that that it doesn't make sense to leave our own gas in the ground. These are precisely the kinds of policies, the policies I've been outlining, that the energy-intensive sectors such as ceramics have been calling for. If we're serious about protecting the British ceramics industry, we need to act now to cut the cost of industrial energy. So I'm going to ask the Minister a couple of questions. We've heard a bit about the challenge from imports, so it'd be interesting to hear from him what representations this industry has made to the Trade Remedies Authority. And I would also ask him directly whether the government would support the cheap power plan that would cut business energy costs and therefore abandon the ideological policies that are driving proud sectors such as ceramics into decline, because the future of a great British industry and all the livelihoods that it supports are too important to ignore.